you don't get to show.
But then we had our second one, which I didn't even know about it. Like when I've seen some of these lists about offensive games, this one came up, Bonetown. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did see that one. That shit's crazy.
All right, so Bonetown is an adult adventure video game, and it was made for the PC in 2008. And this game has like all types of things that can offend you because I mean, first of all, it's an adult game, so someone can be offended by that. But once you get past that, it kind of has like they describe it as a GTA type, where the game basically starts out with you being pissed on by your roommate. So I mean, if that's not a way to start, your objective is you do missions and you're trying to have sex with as many women as possible. Now, we're going to go down the list of people that we're going to offend with this game. One of the first things is like, as you have sex, your testicles get bigger. So I don't know, like, do they start off like walnuts and will they end up like golf balls or something? I mean, watermelons? I mean, how big do your balls get? But here's the thing. You don't get to start out having sex with like quote unquote sexy women. It says that basically as you play and your testicles become larger, the player is able to have sex with more attractive women as they become thinner. And even in the preview trailer, they talk about how you only get to have sex with fat girls first. So I mean, damn. Ain't there enough fat hate out there, man, that, you know, they got to throw that into. But you're supposed to go around, and pretty much everyone in the game, because we'll have the trailer up here, everyone in the game basically has some type of stereotype. Like the black guy talks all ghetto and says all ghetto things. They have like a super country hit guy that's talking all country. They have like a Latin essay guy who's like speaking Spanish and acting like, you know, a gangster. It's just, I don't know, man. And here's one of the funniest things about it. Like the organization that you're working for is called The Man. That's just great. Misogyny, anybody for 500? And one of your missions includes beating up someone that believes that they're Jesus. I can't make this shit up, but somebody did.
Could you imagine the board meeting that happened at this game company when they were coming up with this shit? Like, people sat in a room and you know somebody was like, here's my idea. We're going to make a game and we're going to piss off as many people as we can. Yeah. We're going to put every type of stereotype in the game and we're going to make the game about having sex with as many women as possible. And some other schmuck on the other end of the table is like, let's fucking do it. That sounds great.
Yeah. And then you're like trying to work it out. And then what always tripped me out is that when you have to bring in like the voice actors and stuff like that, you know, because like if you make a film and there might be something in the film that's a little offensive. Like I always think about how hard it must be for those guys who does films about like slavery and they have to be like the guy who's whipping this person or something like that. That's gotta be hard to be on set. You know, it's all acting and blah, blah, blah. But man, it's gotta be hard to be doing that. And you're looking around as you're saying your lines, you're like, Jesus, I hope this helps me out, man. Because if not,
you didn't even have to go that far. Just imagine what it must have been like on the set of Django Unchained.
Oh God, seriously.
Like, you watch that movie and I swear, like, I will say, like, Django Unchained was one of my, like, that was my top Tarantino film until I saw The Hateful Eight. Oh, yeah. And I will say Hateful Eight is phenomenal. But I swear, my favorite, and it's funny because the lines that I think are the best in the movie out of Hateful Eight and Django Unchained both came from Samuel Jackson, of course. But in Django Unchained, the part where he's like, yeah, Django's going to sleep in the house, where Samuel Jackson's like, he going to sleep in the big house? Ooh, we going to have to burn the sheets and all that to get that smell out. That, and in Hateful Eight, when Channing Tatum sticks his hands up, like throws the gun out, and he's like, throw out your other gun. And Channing Tatum's like, I don't have one. And Samuel Jackson, you better shit a gun out your ass and throw it out that thing. Oh my God, that freaking line. And like all of a sudden you see the second gun and freaking Samuel Jackson turns to the freaking chair. He's like, told you.
Yeah, man, and that's why I said for this game, I could imagine like the people sitting there reading these lines because I mean it's
They
so
got,
fucking corny.
they got fucking Ron Jeremy on top of all that. Like,
Right?
so
Yeah,
they pulled
yeah,
out. That's when they blew their budget. They're like, all right, we're gonna get Ron Jeremy to do like 10 lines.
yeah. He comes out like he's like the specialist, like Don, like the Don or something, and he's like, "You want to be like me? I've had sex with more women than you have hairs on your body," and it's like, damn. If y'all don't know, Ron Jeremy is like super famous old school porn star
I
in
was
the
about to
70s.
say, I'm pretty sure the people that watch our show know who the fuck Ron Jeremy is.
That's true. We're not bringing in people like, I wonder who this is.
Here you go. Spoiler alert. If you don't know who Ron Jeremy is, turn this off right now. Because, yeah, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, if you don't know who Ron Jeremy is, you don't get the show.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
I also like in the game that you can have, like, you have to actually perform the sex acts that the women want, you know, for you to last longer and get the most points. So you can't just run in there doing doggy style or whatever. You know, you have to mix it up. Even though it's funny because when they talk about the development of the game, they said that it wasn't completed. So a lot of the special sexual acts and animations wasn't in the game. And overall, as you can see, the game just looks pretty shitty. But it's funny because so in the game you can get injured, but you can't get killed. And that's one of the funniest things that I thought that they were talking about. How in this game they were like, oh, don't worry about the game because you know there's no blood and no one dies. You only get knocked out, but you have sex to replenish your health, which I can believe that because you know I can see you getting power from sex. But then you could get temporary power ups through recreational drug use. I don't know exactly what drugs they give you, but I could just imagine this game just it touches into it. Another thing that's funny. So this was made by D-Dub Software, right? And they were saying that one of their inspirations for this game came from South Park. So I mean, there you go, man. South Park has their hands in everything. But,
I was about to say, if any one thing, this game probably could have been the like they wanted to ride the bandwagon of the Leisure Suit Larry thing. Because I think, like, well, I don't know when this game came out, but I think they had that that 3D Leisure Suit Larry game that came out, that Magna Cum Laude or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like they might have been like, wait, that shit made money. Let's go. Let's put this shit out.
Well, what's amazing is apparently I have to go see because I didn't look on Steam to see if it's actually there. But apparently they greenlight a one in 2014 called Bonetown Mature Edition, and supposedly this is supposed to be you keep your clothes on because I guess it says here that greenlight doesn't allow nudity or adult content for their Steam games. So I don't know what you would have to do to take this game and remove most of the sexual content, and then somebody still wants to pay it. You know, I don't know how that's possible.
That's funny. And of course, the one time that I completely forget to turn the audio off on my fucking phone that's across the room, my wife is sitting there texting me like, "Hey, the food's ready." This, that, and like she's sending like 6 texts at one time.
Don't you hate when you get texts from people that they write a text for each word? Like I understand there's a limit, right? But I remember I was part of this group and these people are texting like, "Hi, I need to tell you about
Send.
this thing that we're going to do send on Saturday." And it's like you could have typed that in one text. Like
well, remember, that was the days of the flip phone where it took you 10 minutes to type those 3 words.
Yeah, you're hitting A, B, you know.
So that you didn't fuck up. Yeah, that was so that you didn't fuck up and then sit there and have to like back the whole thing up to like 20 minutes or 30 minutes you spent just typing one sentence and then start all over again.
It's like if you had an old rotary phone and then you messed up and you're like, God damn it.
That old fucking Chris Rock joke from freaking Lethal Weapon. Oh, I'm gonna dial 4, 5, 7. Fuck, I fucked up. Click.
That's one thing. I want to know how many people that watch this have ever used a rotary phone.
Shit, I've used it. Then again, you and I are old farts.
Yeah. Compared to the demographics that we're shooting for.
Apparently, we need to talk less about rotary phones and more about TNA.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we had two games that were offensive for a lot of people. Now, Custer's Revenge, obviously, and then you have Bonetown with all the not only stereotypes, but then you have the sexual content and making fun of fat women.